All right, that was Mob Psycho Season 3, Episode 8. Here on AutoSave, we don't watch previews, and I'm a little upset that I saw that, to be completely honest. But
it didn't feel like a preview, and I think it's because I realized that the outro kind of credits was playing on top of that whole, Inokawa thing with the aliens, but it didn't occur to me that that's normally our, tell sign for when we're gonna have a preview after.
In a lot of shows, they have a title card that says preview, so I was expecting that. So, unfortunately, at some point in the discussion, we have to address the fact that we know Tsubomi is transferring, but I want to give this episode its time to talk about, because erasing my memory about the preview, just ending on the site that we did.
The craziness. That was...
The swing that we did.
The swing?
On the satellite. And the alien swinging on it. Mm-hmm. Only in this show, can I say that this kind of thing happens?
I am honestly very, very happy with how they kind of wrapped up this alien interaction with one of them, in fact, getting abducted and actually, having that kind of abduction experience of being dropped off. And, it felt to him like so much time had passed, but I'm sure basically none did at all. And it's probably around the same time. Maybe the next night even. I'm not even sure. But I kind of liked that they ended that alien bit off with something that kind of feels to me like another aspect of these psychics, telepaths, and we have aliens, but then we have alien abductions, and I'm like, oh, this is also good to have that other little element for the aliens.
I'm so happy that it wasn't aliens coming and then us getting a typical Mob Psycho fight.
I thought we were gonna fight aliens. I think I even said to you that I thought that the final arc of this season was going to be something that stemmed from this episode and the last episode.
Dude, I am so happy with what happened. It was very
Thank
unpredictable.
God we're not fighting aliens.
I wonder if this is canon or not to the manga. I could easily see it not being.
It felt, I think you might have noticed too that the art style was maybe looser?
It was reminiscent of the hike we got with Mob and Regan to go try to slay, mythical monsters.
Yeah.
How it was... The animation was very loose, especially at the beginning part of the episode.
Which I'm, not against.
Especially
I still
for this
enjoyed
type
it.
of art style.
But I feel like it was purposeful that it was an episode that wasn't, main plot line.
Exactly.
That it would be like that. It could be maybe... saving time for some episodes that are to come.
Or some in the past, like the Dimple episode. Or some that
they did in the past, yeah.
Halfway through it, I'm sitting there wondering if they're going to go the, crazy action route. And I didn't feel like they were. And I felt like if they did, it would have felt weird. And then as it kept getting closer and closer, and then, the light appears behind Karata, that I'm like, oh, here's the fight. It's going to come. And then I'm like, oh, they look like they have flamingo legs. Oh, they look exact. I could never have guessed how somebody from Mob Psycho's universe would draw aliens, but it would look like that.
When you said that they kind of reminded you of Tsubomi, I got that too, because if we think about how eyes are drawn in this show... Oh, don't leave this panel that you're on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Me too.
If we think about how eyes are drawn, Tsubomi is basically the only girl that has these beautiful, kind of big, round, full eyes. And then the aliens had them too. So I was like, are we about to learn? Yeah, Tsubomi's an alien.
Yeah.
Or these were created by Tsubomi because we know that she kind of looks out and knows what Mob's up to. So maybe she knew what Mob was up to and decided to create fake aliens. In the same way that Sho created a fake house fire with fake bodies.
Yeah. I think my mind tries to fill in the blanks with Tsubomi, but if there's any
do you think we're the only ones that try to fill in the blanks so much with her?
I don't know, but I think that I might be doing the show a disservice, because why would it be anything but a normal human emotional battle? Not something psychic and massive.
Yeah, why can't Tsubomi just be a normal middle school girl that's just a little more true to herself.
And why can't the culmination of the show be Mob's work on himself internally and him dealing with his emotions and him trying to confess to her?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm glad that we didn't have a crazy big fight this episode. You know what animation I thought was great, though? We were talking about it loosely. Once we got Inukawa to the other world.
Oh,
like, I was like,
the looseness went so well with the aliens and Inukawa in that other world. I think especially my favorite scene was he doesn't know what happened, but suddenly, you know, he strips naked and he starts dancing around on the stage in front of them and they're all like, woo.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Then he wakes up with lipstick kisses all over him.
I know. And apparently he was like with the queen.
Yeah.
Like, dang. And he forgot all about it. Or he at least said that some of the memories were foggy or fuzzy.
So I wanted to talk about the still up on the screen. I had wrote it down because I don't know if I've ever seen it done like this in an anime. Or maybe I just haven't noticed it. Probably. I adore how they handle lighting here. I've never seen such a simple way to do so much.
This was, for me, probably the most creative way I've ever seen lighting or shadow be shown. And when I look at it, it is not the standard way like that I learned in school to show these things.
It's not the proper way.
It's not the way you learn to do it.
Yeah.
But I knew immediately. And I looked at it, and it looked like he was backlit. Like, it looked like the light source was for coming from, below and behind, and more to this side. And it is amazing how the line work is.
So, get rid of the background. You have a regular drawing of Reagan that's completely outlined in black, and all one same shades of color, no differing color. And then split it down the middle, left side, you're picky with which lines you choose, but you change most of them from black to
a brighter version of the color
of whatever clothing is on. Yes. And then it looks like on the actual asset that is Reagan, they used a gradient tool on his body going horizontally because the right side of his body is just a slightly darker. And it seems like it'd be really easy to do if you were told to do it. But I would never have thought to do it. It's so ingenious and creative.
It fits with the simplified style of Mob Psycho, where in a way I think that it's it's minimalist.
Oh,
it's just
less is more.
Less is more. Yeah. And I think that this lighting and this showing of the lighting and the gradient, as you said, from dark to light fits so well with the art style that we already know. And now I'm have we ever seen the lighting be shown to us like this?
Part of me wonders.
I feel I would have been whoa, look at that. We are right now.
Part of me wonders is if the only reason it does look like this and you and I are kind of marking out about it is because of budgetary constraints and because maybe this episode and last were more not as crazy animation, and to make up for that somebody was well, we can't go all out for lighting,
so we need a quick way to show that it's what the lighting situation
and someone came up with this amazing idea. I love it. I cannot it was such a small thing, and it happened with what's his name, what is it,
Tanaka? No,
Takenaka as well, but it was so good. I loved it so much. And then it's
actually on all of them as they're all standing.
I wanted to go back to the present giving because
we saw Reagan without a shirt.
That's true.
Was that not what you were going to bring up?
No.
I'm so surprised that's not what you were going to bring up.
No, I was going to bring up the rock that was gifted because it had a smiley face on it and it winked. Oh, the animation's so good. Look, you see the
it has the little alien face.
And then it winks. How cute is that?
What is this rock? And does Karata get to keep it?
I hope so.
And what does it do?
I don't know.
Is that what's going to play in the future? Because that's the only gift they got. So that's the proof of aliens other than Inukawa that is returned to the planet Earth.
My gut is telling me that there is never going to be any mention of the alien thing again.
I hope so. I hope you're right on that. I hope we never get it again.
I actually really liked the design for them because it was so weird and like just simple and weird. But right when like you see Inukawa hanging out with the aliens and you kind of realize that he's going there, I thought it might have ended there and just kind of been a bit ended. He's back before next episode starts. But then like the animation already switches up a little bit to something that reminds me of Mob Psycho 2X5 when he was like in the other world. And like it's just, I don't know, there was something like about it.
There's a grainy aspect to it.
Yeah,
it's almost like you're watching a film.
But it was beautiful. It's like the animation's amazing.
This whole alien world is great.
So creative.
And he couldn't. I also like that we might start to think that these aliens are bad or mean because they basically kidnap him, but they never got communicated with not to take one of them with them. And he couldn't say, hey, I want to go home. So I guess we can't be too mad at them.
I like that, like, he reaches down and, like, feels this thing.
And
it has the texture of, like, charcoal chalk. He picks the piece up and then uses the notebook that was gifted to the aliens to write down his memoirs that are still on the planet.
Honestly, now it makes more sense. You know how shocked we were, shock value, when he was like, here's my gaming system from Earth, and I was like, I would never.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up my gaming system. I would be like Reagan and be like, here's the shirt off my back. Yeah. I'm keeping my gaming system.
I think it's a bit dark about the thing that was eating their crops, and I know that like Inukawa was like praised for it. It's probably why he got back home in general. But I'm like, man, Inukawa had to kill this thing, you know? This creature.
Or he at least scared it.
I took care of that pest for them. And then, I don't know.
And they never thought about using weapons on it. So I guess they are just like a very sweet, fun, advanced society. And, you know, that's what I'm going to think about aliens now. That they're curious and, you know, childlike wonder and non-violent.
They didn't even think or consider weapons, you know? I love it. It's great.
And the queen's just so like, yes, my king for a time being.
All right, and then if I'm honest, I can't forget about it, and I am upset that we saw it, but I need to look at what we saw from the preview.
Yeah, we already saw it, so we might as well see it again.
Yeah.
I thought it was a preview for the first second, and then I changed my mind.
Me too.
And I kept going back and forth on like if it was or not until they said it was.
Because it seemed like a reaction to like maybe being told about it or something. Yeah. And then we see him again.
And we see Inukawa's back.
And then Mob, I don't know, maybe in distress.
I like that we still have why am I not?
Me too.
Takanaka.
In the room.
Yes. I like that he's still involved even though he's on a tennis club, right?
Yeah. So Tsubomi transferring, I don't want to speculate because I've been doing that all along. And
with who Tsubomi is and or is she anything special other than just another normal middle school girl?
And a Mob's crush?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let it happen.
I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like we are currently watching a romance anime that has a pretty tight deadline.
Yeah.
And now we're getting Tsubomi transferring. You know, Mob doesn't have very much time to like get close to Tsubomi again and maybe confess.
All I'm gonna say, it's not a prediction, it's a guarantee that Tsubomi is transferring to Teru's school, and if anybody tries to step to Tsubomi, Teru will wipe the floor with them for Mob's sake. You know?
Yeah.
All right, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. My gut is telling me that there is never going to be any mention of the alien thing again. My gut is telling me that there is never going to be any mention of the alien thing again. My gut is telling me...
My gut is telling me